Hey there everybody, welcome back to Central Tabletop Gaming. I am your host, Jeremy Kelly, and it has been a very long time, but I'm finally able to get back to Ace Combat 7, Skies, Unknown Skies, what is it again? Sorry. I haven't played this game in a really long time. For that matter, I just finally hooked up my PS4 again, and had to go through a ton of updates, but let's not go through the boring details. So we're on the second mission now. So, let's continue where I left off.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Erusia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Erusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Erusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Erusia was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Erusians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Erusia, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Ocean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Cassette Delete of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Ocean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school they went to. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats. And the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Yuzian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Alrighty, so we are now at war, so we need to basically get the heads up on the enemy. We need to get I can't speak. We need to get to where we're not going to be on the defensive. Now we are on the offensive. In the last mission we were in a defensive where we were trying to protect our base. I remember the first mission very well. So, after about just 6 months of not playing this game, let's see how bad I am now. Oh, this is embarrassing. So, I do need to double check and see if there's more of these available, but I did get the strike wyvern, and I've been itching to try that, so I'm going to do that for the first time here. Ooh. I've gotten pretty mean with that thing online, so... No... Yeah, sure, why not? It looks fun. Alright. No, I didn't want emblem. I wanted skin. Oh, come on! Alright, well, I'm goofing this up already. Oh, it looks like I'm actually prepped already. Oh, I'll take that. So, it looks like I'm already prepped for missiles, so I'm actually going to switch my special weapon out for missiles. Alright, let's sortie.
Mage Squadron, sortie, ASAP.
Oh, it's a two-seater. I don't know if I've said this already, but I prefer planes that are one-seater. I get the logic with two-seaters, but I don't know. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and something that I love about the ARC 170 is its multi-seat capability. But a lot of people complain because if you take that out, you take out 3 people with it. I kind of feel that same way in real life, ironically. So,
rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry.
oh, I love that.
Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage.
Okay, good. I'm on novice settings, so I should be able just to fly right in and take care of them. I don't even think I'll need to pause. Just take care of them, move on.
They should be close.
Yep. It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
You don't have to get the rest of these targets. I usually like to, but I'm going to kind of rush this a bit because I've got other things I got to do today to help my family out. So, you guys are going to see me go the quickest through this I probably ever have.
Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellite. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
That was the last radar vehicle. Great work.
Move the enemy aircraft away from the base.
Radar vehicle's destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out. Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you can.
Ready to attack. Enemy
I love this thing.
Lockdown van.
I more they're not.
Enemy on your rear. No, they're not linked to the radar vehicle. Launch
Okay, that's a unique death animation.
Here's some feedback from those war merchants. Write your manuals in a language we can understand. Huh? Keep your mind focused. All transports have been destroyed, but carried. An outstanding bandit is down.
This thing is just
Clouds don't just
mean.
affect your field of vision. They also mess with your heart.
Certain planes like this I've refused to actually use
Lock onto their targets.
in PvP just because they're over cheesed, but I do have to admit they are pretty fun to fly in campaign at least. Oh, I am just goofing this thing.
5 targets remaining.
I'm glued to this one.
4 targets remaining. All right, this base is worth destroying. 3 targets remaining.
So fun fact, for those of you who may not know, if you kill 7 of these guys in 100 seconds in the air, the ace will come out and you can get him right before he taxis on the runway. He's actually really easy to kill, so keep that in mind that if you want a really early special skin, I guess is a good way to call it, that is a pretty easy one to get a hold of. So
Bogeys on radar.
another thing you can do is if you're really quick about this, you can actually get them before they break formation, and makes it a lot easier. I've yet to do it, but I've heard of other people doing it, so might be worth for you guys to give it a try and see if you can actually pull it off. I imagine you would need something like the MiG-25 to do it, but
Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Golem 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. In a cloud. Repeat, bandits are drones. Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
come on, come on, come on, come on.
He's saying the war can change in an instant. Get over it. Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning.
Oh, believe it or not, this is where I would like something like my old F5.
UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah.
Seriously, devs, can I have my old F5 back? I love all the aspects of that ship, and the small frame planes are probably some of my favorites. I imagine they would actually even be fun in, like, PvP.
Missed. Keep your eyes open in those clouds.
Yeah, unlike really early on in single-player campaign, having something like this, you basically aren't going to freeze up in the clouds. From what I can tell, that's solely dedicated to your defense stat. So, you don't really need to worry about if you got a high enough defense.
I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
There's a bar I want to try.
You're doing good.
And I'm just kind of wasting ammo for fun, guys. I'm not actually trying.
I'm getting a warning.
This is my only mission I'm going to do for the day, since I'm doing... I had to rewatch the first episode to remember my basic rules for this campaign, so I'm only doing one mission at a time, so...
One to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
I might get on later today and do a PvP, but
Nice kill,
that's
Trigger.
probably
Enemy
it.
aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB.
I love
No
this thing.
casualties. We couldn't
You
have
actually
done
watched
any
the
better.
fold in.
Returning
Thank
to
you.
base.
I don't know.
On a side note,
Maybe
when
the
you look
bandits
at this,
can
it looks like the
civilian
prototype for the F-22, which was a
No point arguing. That's how
X-44,
warriors
I
E
these
believe.
days. You shoot, someone
And
gets killed.
when its wings fold in,
The guys in charge
that's
take care of the
basically what
rest.
it looks like. It just didn't have the two front canards. You just had this flat, plain design, and I had to wonder if this was used as
Current target is
a
on
basis.
rails, but there's still military vehicles
Like,
and
could this
anti-air
be what we could have seen had the F-44
Destroy
been
the
a thing?
target. But
Sorry, I'm
HQ
not very
has
good
made
with
clear that
words,
no
so
harm should come to
it sounds like I'm
civilians
countering
or
myself.
damage
It's just
to
me trying to think of how to
public
word
facilities.
things. So, that is Charge the Enemy. Not a tough mission, but nonetheless a very fun mission. So, I'm going to let the briefing happen. After that, a few words, and then we're going to shut it down for the day. Nice timing.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Alright, so, as this rolls through, I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up for you guys. So, thank you all so much for watching me here at Central Tabletop Gaming. I was your host, Jeremy Kelly, and we will be continuing this probably Thursday around the same time. If I feel like I want to have a little more fun, I'll probably do some tomorrow and Wednesday, due to the fact that my wife has those off, though. I have to be very careful not to agitate her by trying to do my streaming stuff. So, we'll figure that out later. But, as of right now... Oh, I'm sorry, someone else is getting on here. But I'm actually wrapping it up right now. It was very nice to see you. But, we will be continuing this again tomorrow... Not tomorrow, wow. On Thursday, like I said, around the same time. So please tune in. It'll be slightly after 1 o'clock. And I will see all of you in the next video. Bye! Still one of the funnest games ever made.